Hi, this is Metal Steve. Uh, yeah. I don't know about this. I don't know if I should put this on YouTube or not. I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna play it back. I'm gonna see how it sounds. What happened in 2011? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, now 18. It's only about 6 years. Five in a chunk. 6 years, depending on how you think about it. All right. So I'm going to tell you what I remember from 2011. The, excuse my French, crybabies with more money than Bill Gates took over the music industry and excremented all over the radio dial. It was getting so I didn't even want to touch it anymore. This was even before all of the other interference from all the electronic gizmos and gadgets and the new transformers that they're installing everywhere. Now, if that's not a conspiracy theory, then sometimes you can get under a telephone line or a power line and help you DX, and other times you get under there and it's depending on where you are on the dial. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just try it one day, especially at night. Stand under the telephone thingy with your Walkman out, and all you're gonna get is a whole bunch of humming and hissing and hash and static and what have you, and it'll continue on and on. And it used to be you could stand adjacent to a telephone pole and pick up all kinds of faraway stations during the day, but apparently you can't do that anymore, and it's not just because of the new radios and the way they're built. It's all the electronic interference from the, I'm sorry to say it, cheaply made thingamajigs that they've got up on these telephone poles. Some of it is transformers, and I forget what some of the other stuff is. But in order to interfere with the radio like this, it means that the shielding has got to be something. Well, never mind, because that means that that means that it's some rogue radio interference and waves everywhere, and that means at least low-level doses of radiation that didn't used to be there. Maybe they're not harmful, but we really don't want them to be there over time either. Especially us DXers. We don't, none of us like this. You watch my DX video on AM, you'll be able to see something in this house and something across the street, for that matter. It's a big old telephone pole across the street, or power pole or something like that, probably power pole. And it goes all over AM. You can see that from my last couple DX videos. Ever since they repaired it, it's caused no end of hash, noise, static, buzzing, however you want to put it, on AM. It's beautiful. Sometimes I'm trying to listen to stations far away at night and I find myself swearing under my breath. That is not a conspiracy theory. The new, whatever they are putting in the new parts when the old parts die on these power poles and the electric poles and the telephone poles is really, really, really wreaking havoc on especially AM, but it can also play very, very awesome noises on analog FM and certain cheaper digital radios on both AM and FM. Used to be able to get Connecticut. Now I don't get Connecticut anymore, and it's nothing to do with the power of the station or the GD noise floor that's popped up. Oh, this could be an entire series, me talking about the beautiful, beautiful way that these newly unshielded products, both in and out of the home, wreak havoc on the AM and FM, both transmission and reception. Because I'll tell you what, they're making them out of the same things they make the home electronics out of. It's all the same parts, it's all ships from the same ports. No matter what. It's not like they have another grade and another grade and another grade anymore. But yeah. Back to the original subject. There was 2011. It's 2011. Alright, so 2011 is when musically hit the fan. Every stack of Missoula with anything to tear stain their guitar about became rock. I'll tell you what, it didn't kill rock, but it certainly did beat the living crap out of it and kick it down the road with Wellingtons on. Now we have to distinguish rock and roll, rock, classic rock, heavy metal, radio metal. We all have to distinguish now. Hair metal, heavy metal, hair bands, now different from heavy metal. And actually now different from hair metal. Hair metal is different from hair bands. Try and explain that one to me. I'm still wondering about what's the difference between classic rock and early heavy metal. And then there's this new thing now. It's called proto-metal. Proto-metal. What is it? Like, what is proto-metal? Is it like, is it like, what is it called? Well-aged rock? Proto-metal, well-aged rock, what, like it's classic rock now, so it's proto-metal? Like proto-metal. Or is it like a prototype? Proto-metal. I don't know. But yeah, now we've got, apparently Blue Oyster Cult's not even proto metal anymore. It's pop rock. So thanks to a little escapade involving not being scared of death and that darn cowbell. But yeah, that's probably what did it. Because that is a pop metal epic. Pop metal. King Cobra's second album. Pop metal. Album-oriented rock. Harder side of album-oriented rock. Usually classic pop metal. Pop metal. So what happened in 2011? Or in the music industry? Well, TV went through one of the biggest buffeting abouts since the reality show came out in 2011. In 2011, we had seen some political nonsense, and for some reason we hadn't seen any political stuff that wasn't nonsense. We haven't seen politicians not do nonsense in quite a long time, actually. I mean, we all know it's a stage, right? I mean, every last one of us knows that they're getting on television and they might be talking like this because they're live on the air. Every last one of them has done it at one point in time of their lives because they want to be a DJ. Alright, so yeah, so that's what we saw in 2011. And for some reason, a lot of us had a feeling of foreboding in 2011, which was not helped by the rascals in the news industry playing more havoc with the other type of interference, which was just barely starting up in 2011 as well. I mean, there's always been political BS in the news, but in 2011, it got itself a new pair of legs. Bionics. And it could run very fast now. Very, very fast. And it would just take off. Born from this same new beastie that the news industry was creating, there's always also been conspiracy theories, some of which are learned later in life not to be crazy or even a theory, some of which are incredibly stupid and somewhat insane. Alright, so like the way the government treats war veterans and the handicapped, it's not a conspiracy theory. And they really gotta clean it up. They really gotta clean it up. Because even though God or the devil or whoever will sort them out once they die, they're also making a lot of other people's lives hell. So that's got to be sorted out first before anything else happens. I don't know how this will be taken, but a lot of war veterans wind up handicapped because they're exposed to heavy firepower and they get taken apart. And even if you're not taken apart physically, yeah, you get shell shocked. Even if you don't get shelled, what you see every day in it's bad. What I see every day is bad. I couldn't imagine being a soldier. I couldn't imagine pulling the trigger on someone. Just because and then having to live with it. Just because all is fair in love and war. Or some slogan like that. I couldn't imagine it. Battle fatigue. What is it, like metal fatigue? No, it's like shell shock. No, man, it's shell shock. And it doesn't have to be from a mortar round. Or an anti-tank mine or something going off. Yeah, I said it. I said it. And I mean it. All right. So what happened in 2011? The conspiracy theories grew wings. The news industry and all their little BS had bionic legs. The conspiracy theories, as a result, grew wings. And large jet engines that self-refueled. When I made those Mandela Effect videos, I wasn't like, oh, this is like a reality shift. This is like space-time continuum stuff. This is like, oh no, it's all this angels and demons stuff. No, I was just saying, no, according to my memories, this was not how it went down. And I can swear blind that I was positive it went down somewhere, some other way. And explaining and describing what way it was. A lot of the Mandela Effect videos are complete nonsense. Some of them, however, are a game of spot the difference. It's not necessarily bad, just because it's different. But I'll admit, the first couple differences getting spotted threw me for a whirl. Not a spin, a whirl. And as I began to see more stuff, I began to get more used to it and think of it more of like an adventure, like getting on Steel Force for the first time. Oh, and I am positive of everything I write. According to what I've seen, I'm not lying. I might be mistaken, but I'm definitely not lying. So, what else happened in 2011? Another end of the world prophecy, which didn't come true. A lot of people cashed in on radio when their favorite stations blew up. They might as well have physically been blown up. A lot of even their facilities got bulldozed to make room for something else. They had a demolition crew on a bunch of facilities. So yeah, they physically got blown up. Some of them just changed format. Other ones went dark and had a demolition crew tear down the entire facility. So yeah, those ones got physically blown up. The ones that went dark and had the demolition crew come in and tear down the entire facility and vacant the lot. There was some really nasty changes in radio since 2011. Things were absolutely stable in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, they were not absolutely stable. But in a lot of ways, they were. 2011 is when the friction from the tires of the ground made the wheels come off in 4 different directions, and sparks shoot out the bottom as it kept going on a skid for a mile and a quarter. They're still finding pieces of rubber from the tires. They're still finding chips of metal from off the bottom. That's what happened in 2011. The old version of radio came as close to dying as it's ever been in 2011. The non-political talk show host program took a bath in 2011. The only opinion given was the one from the agenda provided in 2011, and majority ruled. We all found out exactly who we were in 2011. Now it's 2018. And all this nonsensical BS that was started in 2011 has grown up, big, strong, and tall. I used to work at a retirement home. I saw up close how the best retirement homes treat the retirees. Old folks' home. What's wrong with that? So you're old. You're older now. You were young. Tick-tock went the clock. Now you're older. Now you're old. What's wrong with that? Oh, right. Means just because you're old, you're going to die soon. Yeah. And if you're going to die soon, that's why you live life to the fullest. You don't worry about it. The worst thing at this point in time is irrational fear of any sort. Trust me, there is enough out here to scare you very rationally and very, very, very down to earth and close to home. Like realizing your memory don't go no more. Years of knowledge. That's for the most part what the Mandela effect is. Years and years of misquoted and misremembered knowledge. There are one or two things that do honestly seem to be different. And I guess everyone has their everyone's got their final straw when they start asking questions. The right age to start asking questions, by the way, is about 15 or 16 years old. At the latest. All right. Well, the thing I could swear by was that the sunset, the sunrise, the sunset, and the sun shining through an overcast day does appear different to me than before. That's one of the things I can swear by. I got a good dose of it today at around sunset today. I had to record a video. Something didn't look right, something didn't feel right, something was not matching. And it was not up for discussion, so I had to record a video. Just in case my eyes are going and doing something strange. They are damaged. I am pretty much blind. I had to record a video. I've posted it. And that's all there is to it. You watch it. Anything gets your attention. Comment. the worst thing you can do is shut up about this. Even if it feels awkward, it's supposed to. It's a new thing. You're doing something new you've never done before. It's always going to feel awkward. If it's the same, also put that it's the same. Not in a good situation as it is, and to see all this stuff go against my memories is not thrilling, I'll tell you that right now. It's not thrilling. It's not thrilling. Nope. And 2011 was when I spotted some of the biggest BS in my life. There was some neat stuff in the family as well as all the outside stuff. Alright? This is Metal Steve signing off. And on a bit of a dark note, I think I'm going to be ending my text-to-speech series soon. I just haven't been true to form lately. Later.